Good morning, everybody. Got my coffee here. Sitting outside. Beautiful rainy day here in the valley. Washing away all the trauma, all the pain, right? That's how I view storms. I view them as cleansing and kind of clearing the way. Earth's way of doing it. So today I want to talk about this exhaustion, ear ringing, sleepless nights, vivid dreams, pains in strange places of the body, but predominantly just being completely exhausted. I'm finally coming out of it, or so it would seem. Knock wood. I yeah, it's been a rough few weeks, so I kind of had my silver lining moment the other day when I was so I don't know if you guys have used any of these AIs, Chat GPT or Grok. I use it as a form of instead of like Google searching, which can take, hours sometimes, depending what you're looking for. It's a way to have a conversation and find the answers through conversating. So I know some of you might not like AI because of what it represents and all that, but at the end of the day, if you use Google, you're using AI. So, um, yeah, I get a lot of strange looks when I sum up my energy levels to what the sun's doing with these X class solar flares and the solar storms that we've been having since, well, about the beginning of last year is when it started, and they've just been ramping up ever since. So with it, I kind of touched on it last time. The sun is erupting. It's CMEs, they're called, so coronal mass ejections. Funny enough, COVID was the coronavirus, right? And these sun flares are called the solar flares. Sorry, are called coronal mass ejections. So, is there a connection there? Well, I'll let you guys decide that one. So, when we feel tired, but we get a full 8 hours sleep, we're eating the same foods, we're staying hydrated, we're not putting toxins into our body, we're grounding, we're doing all these things, but we're just exhausted. There has to be something to that. I eat typically the same thing daily. I stay hydrated. I even take electrolytes. I'm very health conscious. So when I feel off, I know something's up. And people can look at me funny when I talk about the solar flares all they want, but at the end of the day, I know my body, and you might feel the same way. You might have funny looks when you talk about things. Don't ever change that. Just because you have a perception or your consciousness is at a certain level and others don't see it, that doesn't mean you're wrong. And I had a moment, an eye opening moment, where I was chatting with Grok, telling it the exact days I was exhausted. They all lined up the day after coronal mass ejections, massive ones. So that was kind of a aha moment. Um, Now I have scientific hard fact to back up my crazy spiritual nonsense, right? So people have a hard time when that happens. I had a lot of people kind of, they really didn't know what to say. They shut up at that point. Let me tell you that. So what's going on though on a deeper level is this: the sun, the photonic energy waves. It's stirring up old trapped energy inside of us. It's helping. It's helping us along the ascension path. So everyone's going through ascension. There's just people who are working with ascension and people who are working against ascension. By working with ascension, you are focusing on service to others. You are grounding daily. You're meditating. You're going into those deep traumas. You're clearing the way. This is going to be happening through dreams. This is going to be being released through meditation, through yoga. Mindful stretching doesn't need to be yoga. We got to release this trapped energy. We got to get it out of us because this is limiting our spiritual growth. It is affecting how we see ourselves. It's completely changing our timeline in a negative way. So once we free ourselves from these sort of attachments, these anchors, the toxins, the traumas, the thoughts, once we're able to free ourselves from those, we're able to level up. And every time we're about to level up, you're going to get exhausted. It's your body clearing the way for new light. So, sorry, bear with me here. I want to film these with no cuts. I want to keep it real with you guys. And, anyways, back to what I was saying. So, with the coronal mass ejections, we're going to be exhausted down here. And there's going to be some days that are better than others. But for me, it was a really rough 3 weeks, and I feel like I'm finally coming out of it. So, what can we do to make this stuff better? Well, there's lots that we can do. We can ground ourselves daily. This is going to help everything just process through a lot easier. You're still going to be exhausted, don't get me wrong, but it could be a whole lot worse too if we don't do those things, the grounding, the meditation. It just leaves that energy trapped. So the quicker we can get it out, the quicker we're going to feel better. And it's kind of a paradox in a way. If we're not working with these energies, if we're not doing the inner work to go along with these new heightened light waves that are entering us, our bodies don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to respond, and this creates anxiety. It creates chaos inside of us. So by grounding, we're able to sort of filter all this new energy into a positive way, into a positive channel. Does that make sense? So we're seeing it right now with people. You're either very calm and at peace, or you're absolutely losing your mind right now over what's going on. So this is a very monumental point in history. Humanity's being divided. You know, for those of you that are into the Bible, Revelations talks about this. Someone like the Son of Man came down on a cloud. He began to divide the people to the left and the right, separating the wheat from the tares. Right. That's what's happening right now. Clear as day. People are either getting better, they're evolving into the next level of humanity, or they're completely regressing, being hateful, bringing people down. This whole process is to continue elevating the point of this whole process is to continue elevating our vibration alongside the earth. So the earth, back in 2012, it entered an energy vortex, as I understand it. This energy vortex began heightening the earth's vibration because I don't know about you guys, but the earth was not doing so good. If you look back, Um, 15 years ago, when they were talking about global warming the most, there is no global warming. These are cyclical events. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the destruction that we're doing to this earth. Check out the Amazon rainforest, for example, right? We are totally just destroying the earth, and more importantly, it's not even so much the external, it's how we're feeling internally. That is what's sick. That's what's making the earth sad. So Gaia is a living, breathing organism, and we're the cells of Gaia, essentially. So as Gaia ascends, we too are focusing on ascension on the micro scale. So this new energy vortex that we entered in 2012, it's been slowly increasing along the way, very gently and subtly. Because look at how we're feeling right now. Imagine if this was any more intense than it already is. It would be so difficult to get through this. God only gives us what He knows we can handle. So here we are. We got a few more days left in March. What are we at? The 23rd today. So yeah, we've got a very important 10 or so days ahead of us here leading into April. We got to make sure that we're staying grounded. We're listening to our bodies, listening to our intuition, getting out into nature to heal. All these things will lower the negative effects of this new calibration that your body's going through. Fun times. It is it's a blessing and a curse. I'm loving the new changes that I'm seeing in myself. This new calming energy that's always there now. I'm more present, more tapped into love, more connected with my heart. So I'm really excited for what the future has to bring. I think there's going to be some major events happening, possibly in April. I don't like to do dates because it really depends on us at the end of this, how much inner work we're doing, how we're processing these new revelations inside of us. So, yeah, stay calm, light workers. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content. I appreciate you. Helps grow the channel. I really like doing this stuff. I really like talking to all you. So hopefully you enjoy these talks as well. Take care, and we'll see you next time.